your first alert forecast from 15 News.
All right, it is 5:16 on this Tuesday, and we've got a quiet day ahead, giving us a break from the active weather before first alert days return to the forecast for your Wednesday and Thursday. And the main concern with this time frame is going to be that strong to severe thunderstorm potential. And we could see really all threats on the table. That includes large hail, damaging winds, as well as tornadoes. So this is a time frame you're going to want to make sure you're being weather aware. Heavy rainfall will also be possible as we're so saturated. The atmosphere is holding on to a lot of moisture. So again, Wednesday, Thursday for those strong thunderstorms, but also the heat and the humidity. We will have high temperatures right around 90 degrees for your Wednesday, factoring in the humidity, heat index values close to 100. So uncomfortable here for the next few days before we do get into some relief. Here's a look at the Storm Prediction Center's outlooks for us over the next couple of days. Again, the daytime hours of your Tuesday today, no concerns, but we do have a marginal risk as we head late tonight into early Wednesday. So that is a 1 out of 5. We are going to start to see some thunderstorms creeping in for your Wednesday morning. So we'll have a couple rounds of potentially severe weather Wednesday. Again, the first of those, we could see some storms becoming severe with hail as the primary threat, but we're really turning our attention to the daytime hours Wednesday, especially the evening, where we see an enhanced 3 out of 5 risk in place, not only here in southern Wisconsin, but really throughout the state. And the severe weather threat continues into Thursday, but shifting a little bit further south and east, really Madison southeastward. So that's kind of an outlook at what we are looking at here over the next couple of days. We'll continue to keep you posted. But right now, a quiet start, 71 in Madison. The dew point way up at 70. So we are humid out there. It is going to be uncomfortable. And you can see some fog around with light winds, the rain we got last night, and how saturated we are. You may run into some of that this morning. We have upper 60s to low 70s throughout the area. Dew points the same, elevated right around 70 degrees. So a humid Tuesday ahead, but a quiet one, only dealing with a few lingering showers pushing eastward now. So we'll see partly sunny skies as we move through the day, clouds lingering, but we'll look for that first round of storms pushing in from the southwest late tonight into early Wednesday. And then I think we do get into a break for the mid-morning, early afternoon hours, but it's that evening time frame where we are looking at the strongest threat for severe thunderstorms. If we can see some of these cells moving in on their own individually, that would allow for the greatest hail concern. But once they kind of form into a line, which is what we're seeing on radar right now, moving west to east, that is what gets us into our primary concerns, which I do think will be the hail or the wind and tornado threat as we head through Wednesday night. So we'll quiet things out. That will allow for some dry conditions later Wednesday into early Thursday before another round of strong to severe thunderstorms, especially southeastern Wisconsin for the daytime hours Thursday. 85 the high today, 90 Wednesday, cooling down into the weekend with some more comfortable, less humid air as well.